Hello, I'm Hope Logan. I'm an actor on Bold and the Beautiful, and many people really love both me and our Bold and the Beautiful drama. So I've come here to share updates about my beloved Bold and the Beautiful. Everyone, please subscribe and support me. If you do, I will keep coming every day with new updates for you. The latest twists in the Bold and the Beautiful hint that Brooke Logan Forrester may finally reach her breaking point. And if that happens, the consequences could send shockwaves through the entire Logan family. For far too long, Brooke has convinced herself that she could rise above the tension, keep the peace, and support Katie Logan Spencer despite the growing cracks in their relationship. She has swallowed her pride, ignored painful disagreements, and continued insisting that she wanted nothing more than to see her sister succeed. But every act of patience has its limits, and Brooke may soon discover that Katie has crossed a line she simply cannot forgive. What once felt like harmless family rivalry is now transforming into something deeply personal, and Brooke could decide that if Katie wants to play dangerous games, then she's prepared to play one of her own, and she's determined to make sure she wins. The seeds of this bitter conflict were planted the moment Bill Spencer handed Katie her own fashion house, a gift that forever changed the balance between the sisters. What should have been an exciting new chapter quickly became the source of growing resentment, misunderstandings, and emotional distance. Brooke repeatedly assured everyone that she was rooting for Katie's success, refusing to let anyone believe she was jealous or threatened by her sister's opportunity. Even when disagreements surfaced and tensions simmered beneath the surface, Brooke continued presenting herself as Katie's biggest supporter. She convinced herself that family mattered more than competition, and that eventually they would find their way back to each other. But as the months passed, every new development seemed to widen the emotional gap between them, setting the stage for a betrayal that Brooke never saw coming. According to the latest spoilers, the situation explodes when Katie makes the controversial decision to hire Hope Logan Spencer, a move Brooke will view as the ultimate act of betrayal. From Katie's perspective, the choice couldn't be more reasonable. She genuinely believes she is protecting Hope's future, giving her daughter a fresh opportunity when uncertainty surrounds hope for the future. Katie will argue that she isn't stealing anyone away or trying to create conflict. Instead, she'll insist she simply recognized Hope's incredible talent and refused to let that talent go to waste while Hope remained trapped under Steffi Forrester Finnegan's authority. In Katie's eyes, offering Hope a contract wasn't just good business. It was an act of compassion, a chance to rescue someone she deeply cares about before another opportunity disappeared forever. But Brooke will see none of it that way. The moment she learns what Katie has done, every ounce of patience she's been clinging to may disappear in an instant. Instead of seeing Katie as a caring aunt trying to help Hope rebuild her career, Brooke will become convinced that her sister deliberately took advantage of Hope during one of the most vulnerable periods of her professional life. She'll believe Katie saw Hope's frustration, recognized her uncertainty over the future of her fashion line, and strategically stepped in with an offer that Brooke considers nothing short of poaching. To Brooke, this isn't generosity or support. It is calculated manipulation, wrapped in the appearance of kindness. The emotional betrayal cuts even deeper because it comes from someone Brooke believed she could still trust, despite everything that had already happened between them. As Brooke's anger grows, it won't be directed solely at Katie. Hope herself will also find herself caught in the emotional storm, forced to face her mother's disappointment and frustration. Brooke will struggle to understand why Hope accepted the offer, believing her daughter should have recognized the damage it would cause within the family before agreeing to such a dramatic career move. Even so, Brooke's deepest resentment will remain focused on Katie, because in her mind, none of this would have happened if Katie hadn't extended the invitation in the first place. Brooke will blame her sister for setting the entire chain of events into motion, accusing her of deliberately creating another painful chapter in the never-ending Logan family drama. What Katie considers an exciting business decision, Brooke will interpret as a calculated attack against both her and everything she's been trying to protect. That painful realization could become the final straw that changes Brooke forever. The woman who once insisted she wanted Katie's fashion house to succeed may suddenly abandon every ounce of goodwill she once claimed to have. Fueled by heartbreak, betrayal, and simmering resentment, Brooke may openly admit that she's finished handling Katie with kid gloves. She could confess that perhaps she never truly believed Katie's fashion house stood much of a chance in the competitive fashion world, but now her feelings have evolved into something much darker. Instead of quietly watching events unfold from the sidelines, Brooke may become determined to ensure that Katie's newest venture never reaches its full potential. The emotional shift would mark a dramatic turning point, transforming Brooke from reluctant supporter into an active opponent willing to fight for revenge. As those darker emotions take hold, Brooke may begin considering actions that once would have seemed completely unthinkable. Rather than simply expressing her outrage, she could start plotting ways to sabotage Katie's success, determined to make sure the fashion house crashes before it ever has the opportunity to flourish. Every setback Katie experiences could become another silent victory for Brooke, who may convince herself that justice can only be achieved by tearing down the very dream Katie has worked so hard to build. It would be a dangerous path, one fueled by wounded pride and lingering resentment, but Brooke may believe she's simply giving Katie a taste of her own medicine. In Brooke's mind, both Katie and Hope have betrayed her trust, and bringing down the fashion house might become the only way to make them truly understand the pain they've caused. If Brooke follows through with that plan, the fallout could be devastating for everyone involved. Family loyalties would be shattered, old wounds reopened, and the Logan family could find itself divided more deeply than ever before. Every victory Katie celebrates would be overshadowed by Brooke's determination to stop her, while Hope could become trapped between the two women she loves most, powerless to repair the damage. What began as a business opportunity could quickly spiral into a full-scale family war, where every success comes at someone else's expense. And according to the bold and the beautiful spoilers, troubling days may be just around the corner for the Logans if Brooke truly embraces this thirst for revenge. Viewers should brace themselves, because if Brooke decides to unleash her own dangerous game, she may not stop until Katie's dreams lie in ruins, and every score has finally been settled. As Brooke's determination hardens into something far more dangerous, the atmosphere surrounding the Logan family begins to feel heavier than ever before. Every conversation is suddenly filled with hidden meanings, every glance carries suspicion, and every celebration threatens to become another battlefield. Brooke has spent years fighting to keep her family together through heartbreak, betrayal, and impossible choices. But this latest wound feels different. It isn't simply about business or fashion anymore. It has become a deeply personal struggle over loyalty, trust, and the painful realization that those closest to her may no longer share the same vision of family. The woman who once believed forgiveness could heal almost anything may now conclude that forgiveness has only encouraged others to take advantage of her compassion. Meanwhile, Katie remains convinced that she has done absolutely nothing wrong. From her perspective, Hope deserved an opportunity when uncertainty clouded her future, and refusing to help would have been the true betrayal. She believes she saw remarkable talent sitting on the sidelines, waiting for someone to believe in it, and she simply opened the door. Katie never intended to wage war against Brooke or deepen the divide between the sisters. Instead, she imagined building a successful fashion house while giving Hope a chance to rediscover her confidence and creative passion. Unfortunately, good intentions rarely matter once emotions take control, and Katie may soon discover that Brooke is no longer interested in hearing explanations or accepting heartfelt justifications. Hope now finds herself standing at the center of a conflict she never intended to create. What should have been an exciting new beginning for her career has instead become the spark that ignites another painful family crisis. On one side stands Katie, proudly offering her support and believing she has rescued Hope from professional uncertainty. On the other side is Brooke, whose disappointment cuts deeper than any business disagreement ever could. Every decision Hope makes now risks hurting someone she loves, leaving her trapped between gratitude for Katie's generosity and heartbreak over her mother's growing anger. The emotional pressure continues to mount as Hope realizes there may be no choice capable of satisfying everyone, no matter how carefully she tries to navigate the situation. At the heart of Brooke's outrage lies a belief that Katie deliberately took advantage of Hope's weakest moment. Brooke cannot shake the image of her daughter feeling frustrated as the future of Hope for the future remained uncertain, vulnerable enough for someone else to step in with an irresistible offer. Whether Katie intended it or not becomes almost irrelevant in Brooke's eyes, because the outcome feels exactly the same. She sees Hope being pulled further away from the path Brooke believed was best for her, and she refuses to accept that coincidence alone brought them to this point. The more Brooke dwells on the circumstances, the more convinced she becomes that Katie knowingly steered Hope in a completely different direction. That conviction only fuels Brooke's growing desire to fight back with everything she has. Should Brooke fully embrace that mindset, her next moves could become increasingly calculated. Rather than confronting Katie with emotional outbursts alone, she may begin watching every business decision, searching for weaknesses she can exploit. Every launch, every partnership, every collection, and every public appearance could become an opportunity to undermine Katie's growing success. Brooke has spent years navigating the competitive fashion industry, and she understands better than almost anyone how quickly momentum can disappear once doubt begins spreading. If she decides to use that experience as a weapon instead of an advantage, Katie's fashion house could find itself facing challenges from every direction before it ever has the chance to establish a solid foundation. What makes this possible showdown even more heartbreaking is that it isn't driven by strangers competing for power. These are sisters whose lives have been intertwined through countless triumphs and tragedies, women who have repeatedly found their way back to each other despite years of complicated history. Their shared memories, family bonds, and mutual love have survived extraordinary tests before. Yet this latest conflict threatens to destroy something much deeper than a professional relationship. It risks permanently damaging the trust that once allowed them to forgive even the most painful mistakes. If revenge replaces reconciliation, the emotional scars left behind could outlast any business victory or financial success. As the tension continues to build, viewers are left wondering just how far Brooke is willing to go once she decides enough is enough. Will anger consume every remaining trace of the compassion she's always tried to show Katie? Or will someone intervene before the sisters reach a point of no return? Can Hope somehow bridge the widening divide? Or will her new opportunity only deepen the wounds between the women she loves most? Those questions now hang over every interaction, creating an atmosphere of uncertainty where even the smallest decision could trigger another explosive confrontation. One thing seems increasingly certain. If Brooke truly abandons her role as Katie's reluctant supporter and becomes her fiercest opponent, the battle ahead may be one of the most emotionally devastating chapters the Logan family has faced in a very long time.